There was an in-depth piece, like a behind-the-scenes piece, talking about how they've been in a full meltdown about this girl for a couple of years now. Their star, Rachel Zegler, was so unlikable, said she hated Snow White, mocked the fact that there was a prince and that she falls in love as opposed to leaning into her own power. We could go on.
Can one actress really tank a Disney blockbuster all by herself? That's the question swirling around Rachel Zegler, the star of the live-action Snow White remake that's become a train wreck of epic proportions. From casting backlash to fiery controversies, this fairy tale reboot has spiraled into a mess that's left fans stunned and Disney scrambling. Buckle up, because this story is wilder than anything the Brothers Grimm ever dreamed up.
When people watched it originally in 1937 in the theaters, it was an amazing experience because for most people, it was the first color movie. But second of all, people had so connected emotionally with the character of Snow White that when she eats from the apple and she dies, people were literally weeping in the theater because they liked the character of Snow White so much.
Back in 2021, Disney made waves by casting Rachel Zegler, a talented Latina actress, as Snow White. The hype was real. She'd already dazzled in West Side Story, nabbing a Golden Globe. But the second her name hit the headlines, a firestorm erupted. Fans of the 1937 classic clutched their pearls, arguing that a character dubbed the fairest of them all shouldn't stray from the pale-skinned princess they'd grown up with. Critics called it a bold step forward. Others saw it as a slap in the face to tradition. The internet exploded with debates over representation, and Zegler hadn't even stepped on set yet, but that wasn't the whole story.
I'm a narcissist.
That she is. And by the way, the producer of Snow White, his son knows it.
Literally no offense to anything. They were very proud to cast a Latino actress as Snow White. It makes no sense to me. You're progressive in one way, but you're still making that backward story of 7 dwarves living in a cave. What the f are you doing, man?
Then came the bombshell that lit the fuse. In interviews, Zegler didn't hold back, trashing the original Snow White as outdated. She called the prince a literal stalker and mocked the idea of a heroine pining for love instead of power. For a generation raised on that iconic cartoon, where people wept in theaters when Snow White bit that apple, this felt personal. Her words didn't just ruffle feathers, they torched bridges with fans who adored the simplicity of the classic tale. Disney had a rising star on their hands, but she was already alienating the very audience they needed, and what happened next would shock everyone.
And to put 7 people with dwarfism on camera in a major Disney movie, there's still power there. If the story is offensive, change the story, don't change the characters.
That at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Wow. The ego on this girl is ridiculous.
Wow. Things got even messier when Zegler's politics entered the chat. In August 2023, she dropped a Free Palestine post on X while hyping the Snow White trailer, a move that clashed hard with her co-star Gal Gadot's pro-Israel stance. Rumors swirled of tension on set, with whispers that Disney execs flew producer Mark Platt to New York to rein her in. Then came her post-election rants, blasting Trump supporters with fiery language that had Disney slapping a social media handler on her faster than you can say magic mirror. Fans were split. Some cheered her boldness, others saw it as a reckless torpedo aimed at the film's chances. But the chaos was just getting started.
And they postponed the release of this thing, Ben, for a year because their star, Rachel Zegler, was so unlikable, told all Trump supporters that they could off.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again.
Every single white male is a piece of shit and the woman is the hero and all authority is bad and all business is bad, but government is good as social. And most people don't know what they're watching. She, unfortunately, sort of pulled the curtain back and people knew exactly what was going on.
Behind the scenes, the production was a hot mess. 3 rounds of reshoots pushed the budget past $270 million, with leaks hinting at a script that couldn't find its footing. The iconic 7 dwarfs replaced with CGI creations that fans dubbed nightmare fuel. Insiders whispered about rewrites to scrub outdated tropes. But what emerged was a disjointed plot that felt like a puzzle with half the pieces missing. Disney poured cash into this fairy tale, hoping to modernize a legend, only to watch it morph into a cautionary tale of its own. And when the first footage hit, things took a darker turn.
Come on.
That's the face of a serial killer.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button. I don't need your business.
Noted.
Thanks.
Cue Zegler's emotional meltdown. Fresh clips surfaced in early 2025, showing a Snow White who barely resembled her 1937 roots. No prince, no charm, just a heroine forging her own path. Fans recoiled, calling it a fever dream of awkward cuts and hollow moments. Zegler, facing the backlash head-on, broke down in interviews, defending the vision with raw passion. She insisted this was about empowerment, not nostalgia, but the shaky visuals and bizarre scenes, like a random all-white dance party, left viewers baffled. Her tears tugged at some heartstrings, but for most, the damage was done, and the box office numbers proved it.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story. With a guy who literally stalks her.
Say it louder so your other eye can hear you.
So we didn't do that this time.
Opening weekend hit like a thud. $42 million domestically against a budget that screamed for $1 billion haul. Projections pegged losses at $115 million. A gut punch for Disney's live-action legacy. Even the studio's die-hard supporters, those social media voices who'd usually gush over anything with a Mickey logo, turned sour. They slammed the erratic script, the uneven tone, and a production design that felt like it was stitched together in a panic. This wasn't just a flop, it was a betrayal of everything fans held dear, and the blame game was about to get ugly.
You don't particularly see people who, look like me or are me playing roles like that. So it was definitely, when it got announced,
He wasn't a stalker, by the way.
thing that was like trending on Twitter for days because all of the people were angry.
Hollywood didn't hold back. Ariana DeBose, Zegler's West Side Story co-star, seemed to take a swipe by reposting a shady quote about narcissism. Sean Lennon piled on, branding her a disconnected brat. Even Jonah Platt, son of the film's producer, torched her in a now-deleted rant, claiming her ego sank the ship. Disney, meanwhile, appeared to step back, letting Zegler take the heat as whispers grew that they were cutting their losses. She'd gone from Golden Girl to scapegoat in record time, caught in a storm she couldn't outrun, yet not everyone was ready to write her off.
And so it was like
Those people.
very much this, yes, it
Yeah,
was
the
this
people that
awakening.
We need to educate the people that we need to love into awareness.
Love them in the right direction.
A few heavy hitters stepped up to bat for her. Pedro Pascal called her an icon on Instagram, while Lily Allen argued the film's failure wasn't Zegler's burden alone. Supporters pointed to her standout performance, her voice, her presence, insisting she shone despite the wreckage. Critics might have trashed the movie, but many singled her out as its one bright spot. The debate raged. Was she a victim of a doomed project, or the spark that lit the fuse? Her defenders hoped this wouldn't define her, but the fallout was already reshaping the landscape.
No, the people who you need to entertain, the people who you need to serve, the people who pay your salary. Everyone is serving it's just her going, we need to, no, you don't, it's not your job. Your job is to entertain. You are paid to entertain.
A video of herself in a theater. Maybe I think she bought that ticket right there. Please enjoy.
So what's next? Disney's reportedly hit pause on future remakes like Tangled, spooked by Snow White's collapse. Zegler's got a new gig lined up, but whispers of a cursed career are hard to shake. This fiasco's left the studio at a crossroads. Do they double down on bold reimaginings, or play it safe with nostalgia? For Zegler, it's a fight to reclaim her narrative after being tied to one of Disney's biggest blunders. The fairy tale's over, but the questions linger.
Look at this. Look at this face. What can be said about this level of narcissism here? Cheering for herself.
From a casting uproar to a box office nosedive, Rachel Zegler's Snow White journey is a saga of ambition gone awry. Disney gambled big, pushing a modern spin that fans couldn't stomach, and the result was a fractured mess that lost its magic. Zegler's passion couldn't save it, and now the industry's left wondering, can Disney bounce back from this? Or is Zegler doomed to carry the weight of this flop forever? Drop your take in the comments. Did she deserve the blame, or was this a disaster waiting to happen? Hit that subscribe button for more Hollywood shakeups you won't see coming.